Hey everybody, Yankee here. It is now time for part 12 of our series of What Guns Are Viewers Choosing to Carry? Alright, first we got Jason G from New York. And I don't know if he's from the civilized area of New York, down in New York City, or if he's up in bumfuck northern New York where everybody's married to their first cousin. But I'm thinking he might be down in the city because I'm assuming that his hands are always covered with pizza grease, which means the G probably stands for Guido, because he can't seem to hold on to his little Glock 43X without wrapping it in fucking sticky sandpaper. I have never liked this trend. I think it's ugly, and I don't think it can really offer you that much extra grip. The polymer is textured. How bad are you at holding on to things that you need this ugly skateboard tape wrapped around your gun? It's 9mm for God's sakes. If you can't hold on to that without that on there, well then maybe just get a slingshot, because an actual gun might be out of your wheelhouse. But like I was saying, this is Jason G in New York City in his Glock 43X. And that was a really bad Laszlo impersonation there. As you can tell, I don't do impersonations. All right, next we have Kevin in Florida, and he's carrying a SIG X5. Now, I don't know what caliber this one is, but since Kevin lives in Florida, I'm assuming he's like 108 years old, so I'm betting it's 9mm to make it easy to control. But still, this is a really nice gun. I like that flat trigger, and he's got a streamlight on there, which I assume, since he's in Florida, is for frog gigging, if nothing else. But this is Kevin in Florida in his SIG X5. Next, we have Megan in Florida, and she is married to Kevin. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. We'll have to let Megan tell us that. I guess there's also the chance that Megan might just be Kevin's alter ego, if you know what I mean. But she's also carrying a SIG X Series gun, and hers is the P365 TAC Ops. And I'm assuming this is also a 9mm. And since it's a smaller gun than the other gun, I'm assuming Megan might be the man of the family. She's also got the flat face trigger on there. She's also got the night sight. She's also got her light there for frog gigging. So Kevin and Megan are ready to go down there in Florida. And I mean ready to go as in, get things done, not ready to like pass away go, which, they're in Florida, so maybe. But they're ready to go with their two SIG X Series guns. This is Megan in Florida with her SIG P365 TAC Ops. All right, next we have Mike in Mississippi. M-I, crooked letter, I, crooked letter, I, humpback, I. And he says, I'm from the Gulf Coast in his video. Like that somehow makes it better. You still live in Mississippi, Mike. Don't try to make it seem like because you live on the Gulf Coast that you somehow have the same number of chromosomes as us regular people. You're still from Mississippi. And I'm actually married to somebody from Mississippi, so I know what I'm talking about. But at least Mike has really good taste in guns because he's carrying the Walther PDP, the compact model. I don't know if we've seen anyone carrying these yet. I love these. These kind of took the place of the PPQs. Loved those and like these. And he's got his little red dot on there. No light, so, he's going to be hurting when he goes frog gigging. I love these Walther PDPs. I'm really surprised they're not more popular than they are because, like I said, I think this might be the first, and if not the first, probably only the second one we've seen so far in this series. And this is Mike in Mississippi's Walther PDP Compact. All right, next we have OK Southpaw, which implies he's left-handed. And the name didn't make sense to me at first because I thought it was saying it's okay to be left-handed, which we all know is not true. But it turns out he's just from Oklahoma, and that's where the okay comes from because we all know left-handed people got no reason. And he's carrying a little Walther PPS Model 2. This is the second generation of the Walther PPS. The first generation was just a little too thin and the grip was just a little too uncomfortable. This one actually took care of a lot of those problems, and this is a nice little deep concealment gun. Although I don't know who he's hiding it from since he's in Oklahoma. I guess he doesn't want the cows to see he's carrying a pistol. But then he is left-handed and he probably doesn't want anyone to know that he's carrying a gun as a left-handed person, because we all know that God doesn't want left-handed people to survive, or else he'd make more left-handed guns. So him having a gun for self-defense is basically defying God's law, and a lot of people there in Oklahoma probably ain't okay with that, so he's probably smart to keep it hidden. And this is OK Southpaw in Oklahoma and his Walther PPS M2. All right, next we got Matt D from Pennsylvania, and he is ooh la la, very fancy. Obviously has some money because he's carrying a Wilson Combat SFX9. And not only is he carrying such a nice gun, he's also got a really nice red dot on it. He's got a nice Streamlight light on it. He has put some money into this carry gun. This is a nice gun, and he is obviously very fancy, as we can tell from the fact that he's got those fancy flavored syrups back there for his coffee, which I'm sure he grinds himself and presses in a coffee press because coffee pots just don't do a good job. And then, of course, he drinks that coffee with his pinky out, and just like I'm sure he shoots his gun with his pinky out because it's a nice gun. And it's Matt D from Pennsylvania with his Wilson Combat SFX9. All right, next we have Edwin Lee from Virginia, and I got a little excited at first thinking, ooh, Edwin Lee sent me an email, but it turns out it's just Edwin Lee Jr., which is nowhere near as exciting. And he sent me a picture of his Kimber Micro 380. Now, these are one of those tiny little Micro 380 guns that are very much designed after the 1911. You know, it's kind of like the 238 from SIG, but I'll tell you what, I actually like these Kimber ones better. I thought they were a little nicer and a little easier to carry. Now, of course, I wouldn't carry one because I have a penis and a Y chromosome, but this is actually a nice little choice here for Edwin Lee Jr. because it is a nicely made little 380 gun. If you're going to carry a 380, if you're that secure in your manhood and you want something tiny and easy to carry, I think these Kimber Micro 380s are one of the best guns in this category, and Edwin Lee Jr. in Virginia is carrying his all the time. All right, next we have PK808. At least that's how I think you say this. It could be Peak 808, but he's from Hawaii and he's carrying a SIG P365X. And also, I think I'm assuming by saying he, this very easily could be a woman named PK808. But they're carrying a nice little SIG P365X here. It's got the Wilson Combat grip, so it's a little bit fancied up, and it does have a red dot on there from Trijicon. And I know it's difficult to carry in Hawaii. They're not very gun friendly, so you probably have to conceal very well. But I think you would need more gun than this in Hawaii, or at least I hope you have more at home, because Hawaii always makes me nervous when I'm there because it's so isolated. When the zombies come, there's going to be nowhere to hide there. So you better be prepared to deal with them or have a boat. So I'm hoping you either, like I said, have an arsenal at home or have a boat, or else you're doomed when the zombies come. PK or Peak 808 in Hawaii, whether you're male or female, this is a nice little gun. Not enough for the zombies, but still nice for carry. The SIG P365X. And we're seeing a lot of these X-Series SIGs today. All right, next we have Lorenzo from Maryland, and he's also carrying a SIG. This one is just a SIG P320C, or a PIG 320C as I always call it. And once again, it's wrapped in that nasty, gross tar paper that people love to put on their guns. Although in this case, Lorenzo is from Maryland, and a lot of the people up there are just inbred genetic mutants. So I'm assuming he's got to hold on to this gun with his lobster claw. So he probably does need that extra texture there. For most people, it would be unnecessary. But like I said, since he is from Maryland, I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt here and assume that it is serving a purpose. But it's a nice gun. He's also got his light on the front of it there. And this is Lorenzo in Maryland and his SIG P320C, or PIG 320C. All right, next we have Randy Scribner from Illinois. And he's carrying his Kimber Solo Evo. All right, now these little Evos are actually pretty nice little guns. They're a really nice all-metal little 9mm pistol that is easy to conceal, easy to carry, just an overall nice package. But here's the thing. If you're actually carrying one of these, just say you're carrying a Kimber Evo. Don't put the Solo in there. The Solo was one of the worst guns ever made by any manufacturer, so kind of leave that part out. Saying Kimber Solo Evo instead of just saying Kimber Evo is kind of like instead of just saying I drive a Ford SS, you say instead I drive an 81 Ford Escort SS. Sometimes it's better if you just leave out the unnecessary parts. And this is Randy Scribner in Illinois and his Kimber Evo. All right, that was part 12. If you want to be in one of the future videos, Make sure you send your pictures in and make sure they're in 16:9 landscape format. The gun is centered in the picture and it's in focus. And then let me know your name and where you live, and maybe you'll be in one of the upcoming videos that'll be out pretty soon.